You ever seen someone so allergic to boundaries? It's like they think property lines are just suggestions, painted in neon red, blinking, flashing, and they still step right over? Yeah, that's Karen. She floats through our neighborhood like she's the sheriff, the mayor, and maybe the president of the post office, all rolled into one tight package. Always with that battered clipboard glued to her side like it's an extension of her arm. I bet if you asked her, she'd tell you she files her taxes with it, brushes her teeth with it, probably even sleeps with it under her pillow, just in case inspiration for a new HOA violation strikes in the middle of the night. But let me tell you, even in a place where drama is practically part of the HOA bylaws, nobody, and I mean nobody, saw what was coming when she picked a fight with a mailman. Not just any old mailman, either. Andrew was the new guy, fresh out of training, cheeks still pink from optimism. The kind of kid who holds the door for strangers and apologizes when someone else bumps into him. First week on the job, he walks up to me, eyes wide, and says, "Hey, does that lady with the short blonde hair and the kind of mean mug, does she not like me?" She stares at me like I stole her lunch money. I just about choked on my coffee. I told him, "That's just Karen. Her face is stuck that way. She doesn't blink. She just judges." We both laughed. I thought, classic HOA stuff, right? Just harmless neighborhood weirdness. If only. Because Karen, see, she doesn't just watch, she studies. She started timing Andrew's route with a stopwatch, jotting notes on her clipboard like she was prepping for a Supreme Court case. She'd stroll up real close to his truck, peering inside like she could smell secrets through the envelopes. Andrew figured, hey, there are rules to keep folks like this in check, right? Bless his little rule-following heart. I warned him, though. Karen doesn't follow rules. She makes them, and then throws a tantrum when nobody else wants to play along. At first, Andrew thought it was all a bit of fun, just a taste of that quirky suburbia he'd heard about. But what he didn't know, what none of us knew, was that Karen was winding herself up for something way darker than a parking citation. She was getting ready to leap right over the line. Even Satan himself would have taken a step back and said, "Girl, chill." Now, let me pause a second. If you're watching this from who knows where, drop your city or your country down in the comments. I want to see just how far a story like this can travel, because what happens next, I promise, is universal HOA-level chaos. It all snapped one lazy Tuesday morning. Sky just barely awake, dew still clinging to lawns, Andrew minding his own business, sorting the mail inside his truck. Then comes Karen, marching up the sidewalk, clipboard tucked under her arm like a battle standard. She taps his window with her pen. Tap, 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 like she's about to knight him. Andrew rolls down the window, halfway, mind you, because even a new guy's got instincts, and she leans in real close like she's about to share state secrets. From now on, she says, all incoming mail must be reviewed by me first. I wish you could have seen Andrew's face, blank, confused, trying to figure out if he was on a hidden camera show. "Ma'am, I can't do that. That's illegal. Mail is private." She doesn't even flinch, just laughs like he's a toddler who tried to lecture her on taxes. "Oh, please. Our old mailman worked with me. It's protocol." Thing is, she actually believed her own nonsense. Andrew, thank God, remembered what I told him. He stood his ground. I can't hand over residence mail. This is federal. And Karen, her smile vanished so fast, it was like a light switch flipping off. She leans in closer, voice low. "I'm not asking for your approval. If you don't give me the mail, you won't be delivering here again." Andrew just stared back. "I delivered to the residents, not you." And with that, the temperature dropped about 10 degrees. She hissed, real quiet, "We shall see." She stalked off, not walking, stalking, already plotting whatever madness she had in mind. Later, Andrew tracked down Mike, our old mailman, to see if her protocol was real. Mike just about spit out his coffee. "Review the mail?" I'd sooner juggle flaming chainsaws. That's when it hit us. Karen didn't just want to control the neighborhood. She wanted to control the very flow of information, one envelope at a time. We all figured that'd be the end of it. Just Karen being Karen, right? But nope. 3 days later, everything blew up. Andrew pulls into the neighborhood, sun shining, birds doing their thing. And Karen pops out from behind a hedge like the villain in a low-budget movie, arms crossed, sunglasses on, even though it was cloudy, jaw clenched. Andrew tries to play it cool, gives her a polite nod, hoping she'll just glare and go back inside. Yeah, that happened. Instead, she steps right into his path and says, "Submit the mail now." Andrew, still calm as a monk, says, "Tampering with mail is a federal crime, Karen. I could lose my job. You could." And that's when it happened. She wasn't even listening, just waiting. She whips a metal baseball bat from behind her back and, I swear to you, swings it straight at Andrew's face. The crack was so loud, it sounded like a tree snapping in a storm. He hit the pavement, mail flying everywhere. But Karen wasn't done. She brought that bat down on his shoulder, his ribs, just raining blows wherever she could. The first thing I remember was the screaming. I ran out, neighbors pouring from their houses. Derek from Lot 14 tackled Karen from behind. Bat flew across the pavement, Karen kicking and spitting like a wild animal. Someone called 911. Someone else grabbed towels for the blood. Andrew just lay there, face swelling, lips shaking, trying to hold on. Sirens started up in the distance. Karen, meanwhile, stood on the curb, hair wild, mumbling about protecting the HOA from spies. She even tried to grab her clipboard, like it was going to save her in court. Paramedics showed up, loaded Andrew into the ambulance. He whispered, "Please don't let her near the mailboxes again." And Karen? She actually smirked, like she just won a prize. You know how bullies always think they're untouchable? Karen really thought she'd just stroll back in her kitchen, bake a smug little casserole, and rule the neighborhood forever. Instead, the sun came up the next morning to blue and red lights flickering all over her lawn. FBI, postal inspectors, the whole local police squad looked like they were filming an episode of How to Ruin Your Life in 60 seconds. Karen came out of her robe, clutching her clipboard like a teddy bear, and barked, "Do you have any idea who I am?" The lead postal inspector didn't even blink. "Ma'am, you're under arrest for assaulting a federal employee, obstruction of mail, and intentional delay of U.S. Postal Service." Click. Handcuffs, right there in her own driveway. The neighbors watched from their driveways, coffee mugs in hand, phones rolling like it was pay-per-view. Karen shrieked about HOA rights, diplomatic immunity, community protocol. No one cared. They loaded her into the back of an SUV while her precious clipboard floated in a puddle, pages soaking up her last ounce of dignity. Andrew came back a week later, jaw wired shut, 2 inspectors beside him, bruised but still standing. We brought cookies, cards, anything to show him we cared. Court day. Oh, you better believe it was legendary. The judge didn't let Karen get 3 sentences into her speech before he shut her down. 15 years in federal prison. $250,000 fine. Restitution for Andrew's bills, trauma, lost wages. Her reign as HOA president terminated. Her house seized to pay her debts. Rumor has it she's running the commissary schedule in prison, with, you guessed it, a clipboard. Mail delivery went back to normal. Mike, the old mailman, sent a note for Andrew, told you she was crazy. Andrew taped it inside his truck, his reminder that sometimes monsters don't hide under beds. Sometimes they run your HOA. No more threats, no more clipboard tyranny, just quiet peace and the sweetest sound you'll ever hear. Mailboxes closing, neighbors smiling, no bats, no drama. So what do you think? Did Karen get what she deserved? Drop your take in the comments. Ever tangled with someone like her? I want to hear your wildest HOA or neighbor story. Hit that like button if you believe in a little street justice. Subscribe if you want more tales like this, because let me tell you, in this neighborhood, The drama never takes a day off.